than 4 billion people live across this vast continent called Asia, and we are telling their stories. On this edition, that'll be the world's toughest rehabilitation center, located right in a Buddhist temple in Thailand, offering a helping hand to disadvantaged children by giving them an education and teaching them useful skills. And homeless people in the city of Hyderabad, being helped and transformed by people who call themselves the Transformers. I'm Wang Mang Mang, and this is Assignment Asia. Welcome to the program. We begin at the Tham Krabok Buddhist temple in Thailand, where hardly anyone comes as a tourist. Almost all its visitors are struggling with either drug or alcohol addiction or both, and are undergoing rehabilitation at the monastery's detoxification clinic. Established in 1957, the clinic, 2 hours north of Bangkok, has a reputation for its cold turkey treatment. This comes in the form of an herbal tea that's brewed from a secret recipe that induces severe vomiting. Tony Cheng traveled to the monastery and saw for himself the temple's unusual way of detoxifying and transforming its patients.
Set deep in the hills of central Thailand, an isolated Buddhist sanctuary. A unique order of forest monks with an expert knowledge of the plants and herbs in the jungles they roam. The temple is now a center of global renown, with a controversial treatment that claims to be effective in treating addiction. But the monks also have a weapon, a potion brewed from a secret recipe, with the power to purge.
This is horrible. Worst thing ever, man.
Wat Tham Krabok is a rather unconventional Buddhist temple, founded in the late 50s by a woman disguised as a monk. The Thai government had just banned opium dens at the time. Thousands of addicts were left suffering from withdrawal. The abbot, known as Luang Por, devised a treatment using herbal remedies, rehabilitating the patient's minds as well as bodies.
หลวงพ่อท่านก็เลยทำสูตรยาขึ้นมาเพื่อที่จะรักษาเขาซึ่งจริงๆแล้วพื้นเพทางครอบครัวหลวงพ่อเนี่ยก็จะมีสืบทอดกันมาทางด้านสมุนไพรอยู่แล้วนะใช่ไหมพอมาเริ่มทำการรักษาขึ้นมาก็โดยจริงๆแล้วใช้ยาเนี่ยแค่ 20% เท่านั้นเองนะส่วน 80% เนี่ยหลวงพ่อจะเน้นเรื่องของใจคือให้ถือสัจจะเลิกให้ได้
Since then, more than 100,000 addicts have taken that holy vow, with what the monastery claims are astonishing success rates.
แล้วก็ตอนนี้มีมหาวิทยาลัย2 แห่งก็ทำการวิจัยแล้วก็ออกผลมาแล้วว่า 90% ใน 1 ปีเนี่ยผู้ป่วยไม่กลับไปติดอีกนะ
Those figures are hard to confirm, but the monastery has gained popularity because of a string of celebrity patients at home and increasingly from abroad. The rehab program is open to all, Thais and foreigners alike. Although patients have to meet the basic costs of food and lodging, the rest is free. 2 of the overseas patients are Lucas from Germany and Ricky from the UK. They're halfway through their treatment for drug addiction and are now well practiced in the temple's daily routine. They're on a work detail, painting Buddha statues that the temple sells to generate revenue. It may be a strange job for a couple of Europeans, but it gets them back to work.
I think it's good that it's not so strict in here, and they don't say you have to believe in Buddha or you have to believe in that or that.
Ricky has been using hard drugs since his early teens, mainly heroin. Now in his mid-20s and after a prison term, the temple is his last chance to get clean.
It's horrible, you know, but as bad as I knew it was, I needed the drugs, you know. So many times I went for help, back home 12 steps and stuff, but it's no good.
After several weeks in the program, Ricky feels he's now turned the corner.
The first couple of days people feel bad, you know, I feel bad, but yeah, it's really good, you know. I would recommend to anyone.
Every day late in the afternoon, all the patients gather in one place. The veterans sit around the edge, chanting encouragement to the beat of a drum. Those who've been in the program less than 2 weeks line up along a drain that runs through the courtyard. By their side is a bucket of water and a cup. The monks work their way down the line. Each patient is given a shot glass of a thick, dark liquid, the secret detoxification potion.
People say just hold your nose and drink it, but I don't know. I've been drinking it. It hasn't done me any harm. Sometimes it's strong, or it's not something anything like I drink back home, you know.
It has an almost instantaneous effect.
Terrible. It's horrible, bro.
But afterwards, does it make you feel better?
No. No.
The potion's brewed from a secret recipe of more than 100 wild plants and herbs. Exact quantities and extraction methods are a secret that takes years to learn. These are then stewed for days in a huge urn, eventually producing a pungent liquid with what the monks say is the power to detox the most hardened addict. Okay, well this is the thing. Ooh, it's pretty hot.
A little bit warm, yeah.
A little bit warm. And this is not the medicine that makes the patients vomit. It's a much watered down version, but let's give it a try. It's supposed to have amazing health benefits. It's rather bitter, I have to say. But they say that if you continue to drink this, it'll get rid of all the toxins in your body and you'll slowly start to recover from any sicknesses you're suffering from. Ooh, it is bitter. The same herbal remedy is used at the temple sauna, where patients are encouraged to sweat out the toxins they've ingested. But is there any science behind this treatment, and any way of proving its effectiveness? Dr. Virat, Thailand's foremost expert in drug rehabilitation, has seen tens of thousands of patients with all sorts of addictions. Although he thinks there's no danger from the temple's detox potion, he says it's more for the mind than the body.
So like a belief or psychological effect. In what Tham Krabok is seem to be like a cold turkey in the old version, but the safety and is important too when using this style of the treatment.
As for the temple's claims of a 90% success rate, he's a bit more skeptical.
People only one chance to treatment, so they cannot come again. So we not know they relapse or not after that.
Sasha is a Russian monk who works with the foreign patients. He came to the temple as an addict himself, and he agrees that it was the treatment for his psychological state that really made the difference.
When I stop use things what kill myself, when I stop use many poisonous things, my reason grow up, and I start thinking about things, about action truthfully.
That revelation persuaded Sasha to stay on and enter the monkhood. Ricky's been living in this shared dormitory since he entered the program. He was using drugs until the day he arrived, but since then he's had nothing to help with his withdrawal. It's one of the hard and fast rules of the temple. Addiction must be cured with the power of the mind alone.
No medicine at all. No, nothing.
Not even paracetamol?
No, even paracetamol. Nothing.
Another basic component of the treatment is that everyone takes part in the daily routine of the temple. The monks gather every morning for breakfast, their only meal of the day. When the meal's finished, the patients wash the dishes and clean up.
When I was on drugs, I used to do nothing, you know, it's everything I wanted to do. I was lazy and was thinking, oh no, make it later. And so you learn how to get a routine, a daily routine in your life.
It may not seem like much, but for these addicts, it's the first step on the road to normality. Getting people clean in a remote setting is one thing, but what about the temptation of the outside world? For many reformed addicts, this is where the real danger of relapse lies. Ricky thinks the temple's given him the strength to clean up, so that when that moment comes, he can resist.
Before I'd say no, you know what I mean? I could even see myself if I go back home or something, I'd go back in the same thing. But now I'm stronger, you know? The longer I stay here, the stronger I got.
เราคิดว่าเราทำให้เขาเป็นที่พึ่งของเขาได้ไงเขาเลิกไปแล้วเขาเป็นที่พึ่งของเขาได้เขาหายสิ่งที่สำคัญที่สุดคือเราทุ่มเทเรารักษาเขาฟรีไม่ได้คิดค่าใช้จ่ายใดๆ
The temple has just one basic rule. Patients can go through the program only once. If they do relapse, then they must seek help elsewhere. For most patients who've traveled down the difficult path of addiction, however, this is already the end of the road. For Assignment Asia, I'm Tony Cheng at Wat Tham Krabok in Sarapari, Central Thailand.
Much of the monastery's appeal lies in its refusal to prescribe any conventional medication, which many patients say is the root of their problem in the first place. However, monks at the monastery have made it clear that they are not rejecting or undermining Western medicine. They say they are merely providing an alternative method for people who have not found success through other means. Next, on Assignment Asia, committed to helping orphan children.
Culture Express. See the world in color.
According to a recent UNICEF report, Cambodia has made significant progress in education in recent years. More children are now attending schools, with primary school enrollment reaching 97%, according to the country's education ministry. However, some children are still excluded from formal education, especially those from broken homes or impoverished rural families. As our reporter Raoul Morris found out, these children are helped by local groups, such as the Little Angels Orphanage in northwestern Cambodia.
"11-year-old threatening L carves an intricate design on leather. Each movement is precise, practiced, accurate. Threat has been learning to put designs on leather for a year and a half. It's a skill that gives her some hope for the future, because her family can no longer support her. Both of her parents are dead. Threat lives at the Little Angels Orphanage in Siem Reap. She came here in 2013. Threat learned how to carve leather from Siré Ratana. He set up Little Angels Orphanage in 2002 to teach children this valuable skill, because Ratana himself knows what it's like to have to grow up quickly. While many Cambodian children have a living family member, they either aren't able to care for the child or the child has to work to support the family. These are the kinds of children Ratana has helped over the years.
និយាយរួមទៅពីក្មេងដែលខ្ញុំឲ្យអនុញ្ញាតឲ្យចូលមកក្នុងកន្លែងនេះគឺក្មេងហ្នឹងទី1គឺចិត្តបះបង់ការសិក្សាពីព្រោះថានៅគ្រួសារបងគាត់មានកូនច្រើនអញ្ចឹងទៅម្ដាយនៅក្នុងគ្រួសារបងគាត់ទទួលបានការកម្រៃចូលមានទាបគាត់អាចធ្វើការបាន 30000 ក្នុងមួយថ្ងៃអញ្ចឹងកូនគាត់ 5 6 នាក់គាត់មិនមានលទ្ធភាពអីចិញ្ចឹមរួចអញ្ចឹងគាត់ឲ្យកូនច្បងនោះដែលរៀនបានចេះសរសេរចេះអានហ្នឹងសូមឲ្យសម្រាប់សិនដើម្បីជួយគាត់នៅពេលហ្នឹង
In Ratana's own story, he was eventually able to learn leather carving as an apprentice at a local monastery and built a decent living for himself. Now he wants others to have a chance too, but he has one condition.
តែខ្ញុំថាបើសិនចង់រៀននេះលុះត្រាទៅរៀនបានខ្ញុំឲ្យនៅរៀននេះកាត់ព្រមយកព្រមក៏គាត់មករស់នៅជាមួយខ្ញុំបន្តមកក៏ខ្ញុំផ្ដល់គាត់បានទៅរៀនហើយនឹងជួយបង្រៀនស្បែកហើយក្រោយត្រឡប់ពីរៀនមកក៏គាត់មករៀនឆ្លាក់ជាមួយខ្ញុំឲ្យហូបចុកដូចជាក្រុមគ្រួសារមួយតូច
Phana Yim is one of Ratana's students. As a young adult, he is older than most and has been here for about 5 years. Little Angels has allowed him to continue his university studies, and he now teaches English here while also learning to work in leather.
It offers me a lot. I can have the working, and my teacher, he's teach me about make the leather. It's a carving leather, and I can get the money and for study.
Narong Yim is another leather apprentice under Ratana. He has only one parent, but he's disabled and his mother can't provide him with the care he needs. So he splits his time between Little Angels and another NGO-sponsored home. This is Angkor Wat, an ancient temple that's a major stop for tourists visiting Cambodia. It's about 20 kilometers from the orphanage. All around here, children are selling trinkets and cards. Many of them don't go to school. It's difficult to get exact figures on the numbers of Cambodian children who aren't in school. Requests to the government went unanswered, but it's clearly an issue the government is addressing, with laws mandating school attendance. But with still a limited number of resources, NGOs and people like Ratana are filling in. With 78 children living here, it costs about $30,000 to feed and take care of the young people in the orphanage every year. But Ratana can't do it on his own, so he relies on outside help. Peter Fung is a local hotel owner who left Cambodia in the 1970s and grew up in the US. But he later returned. After learning about the Little Angels orphanage, he wanted to help.
I saw the kids, they were making very intricate artwork, and I just fell in love with the place. All the kids, just amazing talent. And then I spoke to the director, and he told me about the orphanage, and he said they need a lot of help. He didn't know how to actually get his name out there and get donations.
With Peter's help, this is one of the exciting changes for the orphanage. Today, they're putting in a new kitchen.
We've found a few sponsors that helped with the kitchen. We're building a new kitchen for them. So very excited about that. It's been 10 years since they actually had anything new.
Donors like Peter also sponsor individual children, mainly by helping to pay for school costs and meals. A friend of Peter's has just started sponsoring Threat. So as she and others continue to perfect the craft of leather carving, they can at least rest assured that the future holds possibilities. Ratana's philosophy is that he will come halfway, but the children themselves must work hard too.
តែខ្ញុំសង្ឃឹមថាគាត់នឹងទទួលបាន 50% ពីខ្ញុំហើយខ្ញុំសង្ឃឹមថាគាត់នៅថ្ងៃអនាគតនឹងជួបអ្នកល្អនឹងការងារល្អពីព្រោះថាបើសិនជាចង់ខ្ញុំជួយតែបើគាត់អត់ជួយខ្លួនឯងក៏គាត់មិនអាចទៅមុខបានដែរ
With this in mind, he hopes children and young people will have the security and the opportunity that he was denied as a child. For Assignment Asia, I'm Raoul Morris in Siem Reap, Cambodia.
The UNICEF report also says that Cambodia's growing economy may have adversely affected the education of children. It noted that greater income-generating opportunities in both the formal and informal sectors have the potential to disrupt children's education or even completely keep them out of school. Next, on assignment Asia, reaching out to those with no roofs over their heads.
Culture Express. See the world in color.
In India, urban homelessness has become a major social issue as a result of rapid urbanization and a lack of shelters and affordable housing. Most of the over 1.7 million homeless come from villages or small towns, hoping to look for better prospects and opportunities in the cities. However, as our correspondent Ravinder Bawa discovered, helping hands have been extended, transforming not just the lives of the homeless, but also the volunteers.
Every Sunday on the busy streets of Hyderabad, members of Youngistan India scout for their target. They call themselves the Transformers, and their search is on until they find what they are looking for. Yadgiri is a homeless beggar who has not bathed for a long time. He's been living on the streets for 3 years and says he was deserted by his family when he lost most of his eyesight. The two boys convince Yadgiri to go under their knife. But it's not a surgical operation, it's a makeover. The tools are out and the stage is set. People stop to see what's going on. It's time for the transformation to begin. Yadgiri is trimmed and shaved, and then he gets ready for a bath arranged by the boys. After about 45 minutes, Yadgiri emerges, clean and happy with his makeover. He's a new man.
నేనా బిచ్చమాడుకొని బతున్నా సార్ నేను ఓన్కి లాలుచి లేను నేను కొడుకులే పెళ్ళాంకులే నా కాందానుకులే నా బతుకు నేను నా కాళ్ళ మీద నేను నిలబడుతున్నా ఓన్కి ఆశపడా నేను ఇంకా 10 మందికి దానం ఇవ్వమంటే ఇస్తాను నేను అంత శక్తి ఉంది నా కానీ వానికి నేను వాళ్ళకి లాచారు లేను నేను పెళ్ళాంకు లేను కొడుకులే లేదు కోడలకు లేను.
Swaroop and Praveen are members of Youngistan India, an organization that helps the downtrodden develop a better outlook on life. Every weekend, young professionals and students come together to volunteer.
You're there with us for 6 weeks. We get an ID card where we go and spend time with the homeless on the streets, giving them a haircut and...
About 1,000 volunteers have registered so far, and the group is attracting more and more all the time. Ravinder survives on 1 meal a day.
मेरी गर्मी का तो अभी खुजाना होता है, बाल बड़ा हो जाता है ना तो खुजाना होता है. अभी शेविंग कटाना चाहता हूँ, पैसा नहीं है तो क्या कटाएंगे.
He rides for 2 hours on a train to Hyderabad every week to get a clean and free shave by the Transformers. transformations are not one-sided. Some of the volunteers themselves go through unexpected experiences. Swaroop, who has his own business, says he's a different person today. He joined the group 2 years back.
In the past, I used to be so much proudish, an attitude. बहुत गंदा था मैं. एक जने को respect नहीं करता था. Elders बोल के respect नहीं, छोटे बच्चे बोल के respect नहीं, कुछ भी नहीं था. यंगिस्तान में ज्वाइन होने के बाद एक सर्कल पैदा हुआ मेरे पास. बोले तो एक सर्कल, नया सर्कल आया, नए लोग, नए फ्रेंड्स. वो सर्कल से पूरा चेंज हो गया. Within fraction of weeks चेंज हो गया मेरा mindset भी चेंज हो गया था. Come.
Arun Yelamati is one of Youngistan India's 4 founding members, all friends who came together to help the homeless and destitute.
We started by giving food, it's very important. We know that once we give food to them, we believe there is a need more for them. There is only food cannot finish their cost of living. So once we start giving them food, we notice the need is more in them.
Volunteers pay 100 rupees a month or about $1.50 to take part. With these small donations, Youngistan India can stay afloat, but sometimes the lack of money is obvious. But still, the volunteers are able to touch many lives. The group is overflowing with energy and comes up with new ideas all the time. Using funds from volunteers and from donations, they prepare food for downtrodden every weekend. Those who never entered their own kitchens have become culinary specialists. Once the food is ready, it is packed and distributed by the so-called hunger heroes.
While the transformers operate during the day, the hunger heroes come out in the dark. They are ready to roll on the roads as the sun sets with the food that they have cooked for the hungry to be fed so that they do not sleep hungry in the night.
Distribution of cooked food goes on till late in the night. Even though most volunteers have to go to their regular jobs the next day, they ensure that the poor get their share of food. And as the sun rises, the city prepares for another day. Every morning on the same street where Yadgiri lives, people just like him are hoping for something good to come along and change their lives. But then reality hits again, and they are still in the state of destitution. That's when the volunteers of Youngistan India step in to make a difference in their lives. For Assignment Asia, I'm Ravinder Baba in Hyderabad, India.
The foundation Helping the Homeless also runs a skills development project, helping to empower women living in Hyderabad slums. It has also rescued countless children from railway stations while distributing food on the streets. That's all the time we have for this week. I'm Wang Mengmang in Beijing. Thank you for watching and join us again on Assignment Asia. Share your thoughts and contribute story ideas for future shows by contacting us on social media.